Hello and welcome to UK Versus. So, in the year of Retro 2025, it would appear as if reversals are back. This is some huge speculation based on a single image found within the UVS careers portal, which I didn't know was a thing, and a few people didn't know was a thing. But with the news of the Project K collaboration, at the bottom there was a link to the UVS careers portal, and you can get some great testimonials from Zoe and Levi about working with the company, as well as some great insights into alt arts and products that UVS have put out in the past, and a sneaky sort of look at how to play the game material for Street Fighter 6 coming later this year, with some great aspects in the image, as you can see here, where we're now seeing color-coded keywords within there. I don't know if that's always, I think it's been a while since I read how to play. I should probably teach myself after the last few times I've played. But one of the key things that we're coming from in this was the two cards that were put in with the image, and the fact that they've kind of got in there. And when we look at Aerial Kikosho, I'm going to go with, which is a 6 diff, 4 high for 7, 3 check, air attuned, response hand, so no check required to play the ability. Drive 1. So we don't know anything about drive, but drive 1 would imply that there's some kind of cost or some kind of restriction on this ability, and it needs to be done at least once, as we've seen with things like Stun 1 or Multiple 1, Breaker 1. It implies to what the additional to what the ability is doing or to the cost. Add this card to your card pool. After a completely blocked attack resolves, try to play this attack from your card pool. It gets -2 difficulty and +2 speed. So this has led people to speculate that we're going to be getting reversals back. For those who are unaware or were not around at the time, like myself, reversals are attacks that have the ability, after an attack is blocked, you may play this attack after that attack resolves. So your opponent plays an attack, and you block it, you get to play your reversal attack, counting the progressive difficulty that you've already got. This seems to be more balanced on face because you're making your block harder by adding progressive difficulty with this card already. And you also need to completely block, not just block. So you need to there's a lot more restrictions than reversal already, but you are getting minus difficulty to this one. Whether that's just a aspect of this card, it would be hard to say, or whether it's something we're going to see further down the line, that all drive cards and all like these playing stuff in your opponent's turn cards have a way to manipulate difficulty. But take that with a grain of salt. We don't know what drive does. We don't know how drive will impact the game, or whether this is just a way for you to play cards in your own turn by basically going to your opponent, don't block this, or else I'm going to throw an attack at you which has got high damage output on face at 7 and is going to be coming in on a 4 difficulty. Kind of like Calorie Counter from Undaunted Raid, but with extra steps, which basically says if the last attack was blocked, it gets -2 difficulty and +2 speed. The reason people are jumping onto the reversal aspect is because, one, people want it back. It's a block matters ability. It punishes your opponent for overextending in their turn, and it's something that I feel the game needs to slow down these super aggressive decks. But it does have its downsides. Forcing your opponent to interact with your attacks in their turn doesn't always feel great. So I can see the arguments for both sides from a gameplay mechanic as to why it could possibly be in your turn or in your opponent's turn. However, UVS are very good at adapting the IPs faithfully, taking the IP's worlds and bringing it into ours. And there's one aspect I think people forgot to actually look up. What does drive do in Street Fighter? Because we're kind of trying to figure out what it would do for our game, but the best way to do that is reverse engineer. So, Drive Impact is a Street Fighter 6 special move that acts as a forward lunging strike with built-in armor, allowing a player to absorb an opponent's attack, counter it, potentially leaving the opponent in a crumpled state if it hits, or punished on block. Now that's very important key wording there for this ability, saying punished on block. So it seems quite interesting that we've got this drive impact aspect. Drive, we don't know what the costs are going to be, or if it's just the wording. Usually abilities like responses and stuff will have a colored text. This one doesn't, so it's kind of interesting as to what drive's going to do. Maybe it requires you to take an attack, then block an attack. Who knows? But being able to block an attack and counter it by playing this aerial Kikusho, as well as the kind of information you're giving your opponent on it, going, cool, you need to make this impossible for me to block. You need to basically go, I'm going to add one to my progressive because I'm that confident I can block this, that I'm going to then get to pop off. And the fact that this is air attuned means characters that have air void, air death, air chaos are going to be very powerful because they're going to have all that speed reduction, they're going to have all that defensive control aspects. And the fact that drive impact seems to be a reversal-esque kind of mechanic in Street Fighter would push that it's going to be one in our game. The only real downside and the only real logical argument I have against this is that would UVS bring in a mechanic like reversal and only put it on a few symbols? These are challenger decks, so unless we're getting a Deku 6 or Izuku Midori on the move, S kind of challenger, we're going to have, say, 6 symbols max among all the cards. And it's one of those things that it's going to be really awkward if 6 symbols have access to reversals. Yes, being unattuned is very cool and very impactful as an aspect of that. But it's very weird because these abilities, like we see Ruin is only a AOT kind of ability, so we're probably going to see Drive only being a Street Fighter ability. And unless they're planning to do a Street Fighter 6 set next year, and this is kind of a tease leading in, only having 6 symbols maximum with the ability to throw these reversals is going to be very limiting design-wise, and the pure fear that when you see one of these symbols that has now a drive card could lead people to be a lot more over-conservative in play and could cause games to go a bit longer, but that's all speculation. I'm very excited to see what drive is. I'm very excited to see the look of these cards. Chun-Li's character art was a subject of discussion because of the neck. Great to see in this art how very cool these ultra rares are. This stylized kind of negative coloring around the edges that we've seen from other ultra rares, as well as this kind of stylized street graffiti backgrounds for these URs. Very, very cool. I'm very excited to see where this goes, and I'm very excited to see the rest of Street Fighter and find out more about Drive. Yes, it's another ability. Yes, it's something else we need to learn, but we've kind of relaxed a little bit on that. We're probably not going to see anything new in Critical Role after what we've already seen. We're probably not going to see anything new in AOT 3, I hope, because we've already had a load from AOT 1, AOT 2. I hope AOT 3 is kind of an accumulation of those abilities. And we'll probably see something new in TMNT, but that's kind of warranted from the way they are. So if we get 2 new abilities a year, that's still cutting back a lot from what we had last year. I am very excited to see Drive. I'm very excited to see how this works. And the fact that it says you may play this, ideally you don't really get to play things that aren't forms, but it doesn't say form. It doesn't say you may play this as your next form. And I think that's what people are latching onto. And we may all be huffing a load of copium, but I know a lot of people are actually putting hope into this being reversal. And I hope Universus and UVS reward that, because it's very rare that people kind of take stock and go, I actually want this to be Reversal. They actually put their hope in getting this mechanic back. And when I spoke to Bill at the summit last year about Reversal, he did say they're always looking for more ways to make block more impactful, and Reversal was not off the table. So this has been in the works, and if this is a Reversal matters, hell yeah, I'm all in for Reversal. I've been saying it for years now, ever since I started getting my feet into retro. Reversal is something that we've needed in Standard. It's just needed to be a little bit more fixed, as Echo was to Multiple. If Drive is the same to Reversal, this is going to be cool, and I know the playtesters will have stress tested the hell out of this. But let me know what you think. Is Drive going to be Reversal, or is it just a way for us to put String out with cheaper checks and faster speed? And how do you like the look of these cards? I think they look absolutely amazing. Let me know in the comments below. And if you're a Street Fighter player, let me know a bit about Drive Impact. Is it a kind of Reversal-esque ability, or does Drive Impact have another meaning within Street Fighter that I do not know of? I'm very excited to find out what Drive Impact actually does, and I would love for you guys to actually tell me. I'll catch you all in the next one, and now see you at game night. Bye.